on page 7, etc. Oh.
The longer you live, the more you will realize that the only things that truly exist in this reality are merely pain, suffering, and futility. Listen, every must be shadows to be found as well. You will rest in peace.
All right, we are on. We are more on than we have ever been on. Why is there a red line? I fixed it. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 8, welcome in. We're glad to be with you. It's chicken and rice, baby. We're out for delivery.
So it's still on a small delay, I feel like, and there's 2 CJs.
So funny, I'm sorry.
Scariest thing in the world.
Okay,
Is
let me
anyone
explain.
watching the stream right now? There's 2 CJs.
Yes, I see it. Let me explain.
There's 2 CJs and a me.
I can explain. Hold on, listen. Okay.
Like, I looked at Discord. Hold on. I looked at Discord, and then I see Juice. I think it's like this way. Hang on. I gotta watch the playback real quick.
Hold on.
Am I pointing in the right direction?
Explain why.
Yes, I am. Over here is supposed to be Juice. Down here is supposed to be CJ, but instead it's CJ.
I'm going to fix it right here. Watch this. There's Juicy, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. I made a bit of a mistake. For some reason, I thought dude, I swear it changed. My bubble was where Juice is, and he was down here. Then he turned his camera on.
Yeah,
and he went up there.
I was about to say. It preferences who by name and alphabet, as we know here on Discord.
That's why I did
but
it. So
it also preferences video as well. So if you don't got your video up, then you have less privileges, apparently.
That was super funny. I'm sorry. Like that.
Dude,
he pointed it out. I was like, what the?
I was half tempted to just be like, I wonder how long it's going to take them to realize that.
All right. The reason I've been putting my camera on here like this too, ladies and gentlemen, my actual camera now, is because I noticed in last week's episode, my words were out of, not last week, 2 weeks ago, my words were out of sync with my actual self because I was using only Discord. Well, it looked to be working fine today, but still I have my actual OBS camera on here, and the gentlemen are in sync though, so we're improving production every time we go up. Okay, that's what I'm getting at. Get off my back. All right, there you go. Just leave me alone. Juicy, would you like to introduce this week's topic to the fine people?
Okay, so this week's topic, because we are nearing that Halloween season, because we are getting into the season of kind of scary things here and there, we are going to be discussing different topics or different movies and like kind of pop culture concepts for Halloween to get you in preparation for the season. So we were talking about different movies from the kind of the younger aspect to the horror aspect. So we will be covering over different ideas and different options for you to watch, including maybe some games here and there, and likewise. So that will be this week's episode. How are we starting this? Do we want to go into scary to not scary, or how do we want to do this? Because
I just want to say that the Beast is a jackass, and the reasoning behind that is because he sprung at the last second. That we also need to have a scary game ready to go for today as well.
Hey, you know what?
I adorn the challenge.
You shut your mouth. I'm the one who told you that there was CJ fucking Shadow Clone Jutsu shit going on. I'm the one who said that.
I would have saw it eventually, but the fact that I didn't. Yes, I would have. Because I'd have been like
30 minutes in.
I'd have been like, why is Chris broadcasting me? I'd have been like, what? That was a hella funny start. Like, that really caught me off guard. Like, that shit was hilarious. It's because Juicy's camera wasn't on the whole time. We were having some technical difficulties.
And my computer wasn't loading up.
To be fair, yeah, CJ was actually next to me
for the whole time that we were on here.
Yeah.
So, but that's still on me though. We got a good show in store for y'all today. If you're into Halloween, you're gonna love it. If you're not into Halloween, you're gonna love it. You're gonna learn to love it. So
this is also kind of like I think the everyman's guide into Halloween.
So
whether it be the thriller aspect of Halloween, the comedy aspect of it, the horror, the creativity that comes with it for, like, say, you know, dressing up for Halloween and stuff in costumes, or even just theme parks in general. Which ones are cool? Which ones suck? And everything in between. And these boys here all have different aspects, as like myself. And this is what's going to make it the Everyman's Guide. So, gentlemen, Juice asked this question earlier. CJ, you're going to have to be the one to answer it because fuck you, that's why. Anyway.
Anytime,
Here's
Prego.
the question. Where are we starting with? Are we going to start with talking about what Halloween is in general, its history? Are we going to talk about, what are we talking about here?
I don't really know too much about the history of Halloween, actually, so that would be out of my hands if we took that route. All Hallows Eve. I don't really know too much about the history, but I can talk to you about movies.
And it looks like we're starting with movies.
Yeah. The whole point of
If you
this,
would like
too.
to learn about the history of Halloween, that's what Google's for, not us.
I'll start it with Mike the Headless Chicken. Which, the funny part, that's a real thing. It's just not Halloween.
If you want a history of horror, too, I highly recommend Monster Madness from Cinemassacre. Good stuff. Scratch that. Great stuff. All right. You get like a history of horror with it all. But we wanted to recommend some of our own personal favorite movies to you lot. I've got to start. And right off the bat, tied for being my favorite film of all time with Terminator 2 is definitively a horror movie. And that film is the masterpiece, the initially slept on masterclass in paranoia, character work, setting, the whole shaboinka. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1982 classic masterpiece from John Carpenter, The Thing, based off of the novel Who Goes There by John W. Campbell Jr., I believe, and also a loose remake or retelling of the 1951 film The Thing from Another World, the Howard Hawks film. In the 1982 film, the monster, okay, in horror, there are different types of monsters, right? Like everyone knows that. But the monster in this movie is so terrifying because you never know what it's going to look like ever. It can look
Just
like
a reminder,
anyone. It can be
the
anyone.
1982 version, not
Yes.
the 1951.
Not the 51 version, no. There's also the 2011 remake prequel thing as well, which I actually enjoyed too. Like, it gets a little slack, but I think the more time that passes, the more people appreciate it. It's a good movie too. Just not as good as the 82 film, but then again, what is? But in that movie, the monster can be anyone. That's terrifying. Like, you know how in Halloween, like the fact that you know it's a man, Michael Myers, or like a man, like I'm doing the quote fingers with Michael Myers. You know who Michael Myers is.
Man.
You know what he looks like. You know what the xenomorph looks
William
like.
Shatner.
Oh my God.
Tom Selleck.
As terrifying as the xenomorph
One
is,
of us is right.
you still know what a xenomorph looks like. You know to avoid it because you'll see it in the
And for
distance.
those of you who don't know what a xenomorph is, but do know what it is, it's basically the alien in Alien.
Yes.
There
You know
you
what
go.
the Predator looks like the Yautja from the Predator movies. You know what all these other monsters look like. Even the Invisible Man. You know what he looks like.
Oddly, we know what he looks like.
Yeah, strangely enough, we do know what he
Woman.
looks like. You know what Frankenstein looks like, blah, blah, blah. You get the picture. You don't know who the thing is. Right now, for example, any of the three of us, or any combination of the three of us, or all three of us right now, if we were in such a paranoid state, could all be the thing right now. You never know. And your life
for
could
the
be at
younger
stake.
generation, if we want to compare it to something, if you guys like all that Among Us stuff or
Yes.
Project Winter or
Yes.
anything like that, where you have those, or even what was it, the Mafia games and stuff like that. And
Or
I
the
mean the card game,
Resistance.
not
Yeah.
the actual,
Being in the
Rockstar
Mafia.
game or whatever it is. Yeah. But games like those are all about trying to figure out who the perpetrator is that's, doing all the killing and stuff. In this case, it's an alien, but it's like Blue Tag, where after they don't just kill them, they convert them to their side. terrifying.
Yeah. So as the monster goes on and kills people, it assimilates them. That's how it goes about it. It makes it a part of the collective. If you're a Star Trek fan, you know of the Borg as well. So like it's kind of in that range too. See, this monster is terrifying. How do you beat it? Because this crew of men are all isolated in Antarctica with nowhere to go, no contact, anything, and the monster is continuing to sabotage them as well. It wants to survive by any means, but they've got to combat that too. They start turning on one another, killing one another even, isolating themselves from one another, and so on and so forth. And it's one hell of a ride that gets better every time you watch it. Somehow, every time you go through the movie, you can find something new that you didn't see before. And I believe that those are the best types of movies. Every time I watch the thing, even now,
Where it's got
I see
like
something
it's
new.
like a game. Anything that has great replay value,
Yeah.
fantastic.
The movie is a chess
Case
match.
in point, that will forever be a great game with replay value. I've never touched it, but it will be, I'm sure, on everybody's channel here once I bring this up. But Undertale, I hear, is a fantastic game
I thought you were going to say
with nothing
Underdog
but great replay value.
for some reason.
Underdog.
Underdog is here. Woof, woof, woof.
All right.
Yeah, but John
CJ,
Carpenter's a
it's time to-
thing. Watch it now.
Mhm.
Well, not now, but after the show. Highly recommend. Watch it.
Juice, you want to go next, or you want me to go?
You go ahead and go next because my list I gonna have to go back and forth.
All right. So to stick with the horror aspect of things,
Cosmic horror.
I was gonna say one, but I know CJ will end up covering this, especially with certain reasons happening in present day time. But I'm gonna actually go with a film that was recommended by my mother, who very much is a big fan of the Halloween aspect overall, as well as her birth month is in October. So we're gonna go with her recommendation, one of them, which is Trick or Treat. Fantastic film. Multiple stories happening potentially at the same time or somewhat after another. In case you aren't familiar with Trick or Treat, it's spelled
There's two of me
trick
again,
and then
dude.
with an actual R, treat. And it has a little small child with a sack on his head and a like little lollipop, like I don't know, it's like a dagger or something, but it is terrifying. That little child is supposed to be the spirit of Halloween. And if you've heard those rules where it's like you gotta leave the pumpkin, lit up throughout the night. If you don't, oh, you're gonna regret it. The spirit of Halloween has a literal embodiment. There's like different stories and stuff all colliding. I don't know if it used to be a comic or something, but if it did, then they did I imagine, I'm hoping, a great adaptation of it. And it is terrifying because it seems like it's multiple stories and they all kind of, like I said, you'll see how things are converging either on top of each other before or after, some shit like that. And you don't feel safe. Like the characters do not feel safe at all, and it'll make you think twice about doing things on Halloween. So if you don't want to end up like some of the victims in Trick or Treat, a very, in my opinion, criminally underrated horror film, I suggest you follow the steps of Halloween, which is honor the traditions of dressing up as well. Make sure you get all the decorations and pumpkins and all that stuff. And if you see a small boy that has like this little sack on his head, you better give him some candy too, because he came to trick and he came to treat. And if not, spirit of Halloween gonna get up in your ass. That's all I'm saying.
What's his name again? I can't remember for some reason. Like the
I don't know. I just called him the spirit of Halloween because the little boy is the only one that appears in every single like story.
Yeah.
He's the only one.
Damn witches. I haven't watched Trick or Treat it's been a hot minute, but yeah, it's a cool movie. Beast is right. Check that movie out too. Heading into October, watch it sometime.
The thing I can like kind of equate it to is like if it was like the original It or something, where you know how it's like it feels like a TV show almost, where or the TV miniseries for It or whatever it was.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about, where they gave different stories of each of the kids but they all had it somewhere in there as the focal point,
Mm-hmm.
or their fear was more the focal point, and then it was just happened to be there at the same time because he was the dickhead doing it. But in this case, it's just it's like one of those things where that thing's always there, looming in the background somewhere. Now, whether it's the driving force that causes all the mayhem, I don't think so. But for some of them, you may speculate. But it's really up to interpretation. Give the film a watch. Tell me your speculation and thought process on it, because I have no idea, and I'm still trying to figure out that film. The only thing I got out of it was respect the Halloween tradition. Respect it like how Juice is respecting that SpaghettiOs.
He's disrespecting
Just
that
slurping
spaghetti,
them
boy.
away
He
with
is
love and
completely annihilating that spaghetti, bro. Oh my goodness.
Just like the old days, right?
Destruction. Oh no, never like that. Never like that day. No, that day was a massacre in Agave.
I will push this statement throughout every single episode, and I think this is going to be my legitimate thing. How in the world are we going to have a podcast titled Chicken and Rice, so food items, and not have food on it? So I got to be the one to bring it in.
I mean, you're right. Like I've
And you
eaten.
didn't even
I think
bring
I
the
did it
first
2 weeks
official thing
ago.
correctly. You didn't even bring chicken or rice on there.
There's beef.
I ate last week, and I didn't have chicken or rice either. Darn. Okay, but I also had
But apparently, he's the food guy.
It's an availability thing.
food, man. Also, we have a bit of an announcement for the end of the episode too. That's just a little quick interjection. Back to movies.
Syrup.
So you're
All
right.
right, so it's kind of funny because in a way we have like the heavy horror movies, like the mid horror movies, and we'll be going back and forth and everything. So you get your variety. So I'm covering the kind of the family friendly stuff because that's probably the most familiar that I know. My knowledge of actual horror movies is not good, but animated movies I've gotten pretty familiar with. Number one for Halloween, especially for the family friendly, I would say Nightmare Before Christmas, because it's a good blend between, even though it is technically a Christmas movie as well, it's like, I want to say 50-50 in regards to that horror, or the Halloween and Christmas concept, because it's going through Halloween Town and Christmas Town as well, so it's covering both aspects. And it's a good movie, it's entertaining, the music's good. Definitely need to rewatch it. I remember watching it for the first time and thinking, okay, this is okay. I guess I was expecting more out of this, but it was a good movie regardless.
To be fair, I feel like with A Nightmare Before Christmas, I don't know if you can really know what to expect, because it doesn't. For me, when watching that film for the first time, it was not what I expected in any way, shape, or form. I feel like it was. When you first watch a Tim Burton film, you have no idea what to expect sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, like
It felt like
Batman.
that. It felt like a Tim Burton film for me, where I was like, "Where is this going?"
I love Tim Burton movies. Very distinct style.
With that being said, Juice, I gotta ask: have you heard the Marilyn Manson cover of "This Is Halloween"?
I might have to now.
This is Halloween.
It's really If you guys haven't, if you're big fans of "A Nightmare Before Christmas," that song where it goes, basically the word it goes, "This is Halloween," all that fun jazz. Marilyn Manson did a cover of it, and
You like jazz?
I have it on my phone, and I listen to that while I'm at the gym sometimes. Let's put it that way. It's that good. It'll get you pumped. And all of a sudden, you're like, you know what? I gotta go get a pumpkin or something. Some trick-or-treating needs to be done. They're like, dude, what are you talking about? It's January. Shut up! Yeah, I feel like even though it's a Disney classic, I feel like Nightmare Before Christmas, it does what Disney does best. It adds blends of reality, terror, and still somehow manages to make it all fun and sweet at the very end. I don't know how they always end up doing that, but they do it pretty damn well.
Like, the music is actually pretty good, surprisingly.
Yeah, it is.
No,
Yeah.
I saw a joke on a video on Caleb City where he's playing a part where he's auditioning for a role in Disney. Like, all right, you got it. All right, can you sing? Why is there singing? No, but it's just a requirement for Disney. Can you sing? No. They're like, hey, you scriptwriter, can you sing? Start singing. Camera guy can sing. Janitor can sing. And he's just like, oh, sorry, bro, deal breaker, you're gone.
I actually found a pretty intriguing means of A Nightmare on Christmas actually being what could come with the rest of the holidays, right? Because in the movie, in the beginning, like they show that like the other holidays are there too, right? Like the other seasons.
Yeah.
It's like
What if
trees
those
and they're just
fuse?
forest,
Right. What if those fuse? Like, right? I thought that was really interesting too, like a possibility
really
for
need
like
to
follow-ups.
yeah, and they never explored that.
They never
but
went
I
on
guess-
from it. Yeah.
I think.
I
It's
mean, I
because
get
when it
why. Like,
came-
you're not going to top the first. I get why.
Well, I think because of that too. It's like besides Christmas, you don't really have a face for that holiday. You know what I mean? Like they had to make one up with Jack Skellington because really Halloween doesn't have a face to it. Christmas has a face to it, which is Santa Claus.
Mhm.
So I think it was more them trying to figure out how could they make a town or like some sort of village or something.
Mhm.
Because for all we know, Thanksgiving is just pilgrims and Indians on the other side,
It's a turkey.
just in a constant battle, and
I can't
turkeys
wait for
are just
Thanksgiving.
in the middle, just sitting on a throne, watching them like gods.
I can't wait for Thanksgiving. You just had to bring it up.
Valentine's Day, they just go through. It's just a big old orgy pile, and just Cupid is shooting arrows like he was goddamn Legolas in Lord of the Rings.
Just doing flips and stuff.
Pretty much, yeah.
Full on aerial assault of
And everyone's like, "Oh, we keep falling in love with people. We can't stop him. He's a menace." Ah. All right then. So now we've gotten the horror aspect, as well as some family friendly. Now I think we need to throw in a little bit of comedy. So I'm going to interject my spot real quick in here, and I'm going to say a classic that I think that if you haven't watched it, you either just haven't watched it because you just, for what I don't know, you just didn't watch it because your family just doesn't care about you, or they're uncultured as well, or something. And if you do watch this, you're gonna love it. And if you say you don't, you're full of crap or you're crazy. There's no in between. Hocus Pocus. If you haven't seen it, then you just don't know. If you have watched it, I'm like waiting for a follow-up from one of you two assholes.
I never watched it.
I wasn't laughing because of that. I was laughing because of the background. I love live TV. Wait, no, let me say like Randy Orton. As I was saying, live TV is awesome. When his mic got cut in the middle of the promo. But anyway, I agree. I do know about Hocus Pocus. Now you continue.
I actually stopped. I was waiting for you guys to say something and agree with me, but I was just like,
I didn't want
on.
to. I didn't want to shut things down. Like you were really flowing. Keep going.
All right. Well, anyway, Juice, you said you haven't seen Hocus Pocus?
No, I've seen scenes here and there.
That's been a long time for me.
Yeah, I just never really watched it. So
Oh, you got to give Hocus Pocus a watch, man. It is a timeless classic, and it will easily be one of the greatest Halloween films of all time. One moment, Labs. I gotta turn off the camera real quick.
We miss your face. We miss you. Hey, look, there's two me's again. So, like, I guess it's just
course I know.
always going to be
He's
this
me.
anytime anyone turns off a camera. It's just going to be two me's
well,
ready
that
to
is
go.
if one person has iPhone or just Discord on phone.
It's going to be two me's. The reason there's two me's is because I'm actually here on Discord, but I am also here on camera. I'm pointing down like it's making a difference, but it's not. The Beast was talking about horror comedy, and he's back now.
But yeah, Hocus Pocus, man, really good. It's like a Disney film that just wasn't produced by Disney.
I'm trying to think about horror.
Anyway, so the missus doesn't feel comfortable showing her face on cam, folks, so that's why I have.
It's because she looks better than all of us.
All right, well, there you go. Anyway, so if you guys haven't watched Hocus Pocus, it's got singing, it's got doses of reality, comedy blends, and manages to make the whole thing work. And supposedly there's going to be a Hocus Pocus 2, and I'm losing my shit. And
I feel like I've been hearing about that for a while. Hocus Pocus 2.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know how long that's been, because they've released a book. And my mother has it, actually. She has the book, so it's a thing in the making.
I feel like it's like the Narnia series in a way, where it's like...
You can't even compare Narnia, bro, because Hocus Pocus is really good. Narnia is like hit or miss with some of that shit.
You're thinking of the movies. The books are perfection.
Yeah.
The movies don't count. Those don't count toward Narnia franchise. You know what? I'm making those movies. The Charles. Anyway, moving forward. We're not going to talk about Narnia. Sticking to horror comedy, I have a few in mind. I didn't really think this part through a horror comedy, but immediately Scary Movie comes to mind, right? Maybe even Scream comes to mind, right? Like to some degree, but that's getting in the meta category. Freddy Krueger comes to mind with the calling people bitch and killing them and all that with horror comedy. And then there's the Chucky movies as well, like the later ones, Bride and Seed, where like they turn to parody.
And they just straight became comedies.
We've lost Juicy McJuice, and now I can turn that off.
It's funny, you can still see the missus walking by with my son.
He has started a call with me accidentally.
He started a call in the chicken and rice thing for some reason.
Yeah.
I think he realized the error of his
I don't think he
ways.
realizes that we're in the channel. Get your butt in here.
Unless he just got his computer going right now.
Probably. Yeah.
But
he probably got his computer to work. There you go.
I don't know, CJ, if you have anything else, but like another horror comedy. What was it? A Medea.
Oh God! Boo! Oh my gosh!
The moment that came on, I was like, dude, I have been waiting for something around Halloween. Y'all don't even know. And it came up, and I was so excited. I was stoked.
The Scary Movies will probably have to take that's literally their thing, right? Horror comedy. It's probably a bit more horror though, by now, especially for Scary Movie.
Oh, you actually meant that franchise, Scary Movie.
What franchise you think I meant?
I thought you were just talking about scary movies in general.
Oh, no,
but then you said
no.
comedy, and I was like, what?
Scary Movie. Scary Movie franchise. Yeah.
I don't think that's ever been horror.
It is. It has horror roots. It's the whole point. Like, it's horror comedy.
No, but
it's parody.
Like, it has roots, but like I feel like if something is majority comedy, I don't think it can be classified as horror. Like, it can have horror aspects about it, but it doesn't make it horror.
Which movies are we talking about?
Scary movie franchise.
Oh yeah.
It was like, what was it? The first one was basically Scream, and everything was a parody there. Then the second one had the first few bits were The Exorcist, where he's like, Lord Jesus, get this demon out of me, and he's just taking a dump the whole time.
It was glorious.
I was just like, well, that wasn't what I expected.
Oh, the turkey scene?
No, not the
turkey.
Not the turkey scene. This is where he's taking a dump.
All right, but I got a good horror comedy one. Like, and this is my actual final answer. It's why can't I remember the actual name of the movie? But it's the
build up and the letdown.
Well, no, it's the you bastard. It's the why can't I remember his name, bro? What? He died like a little while ago too. He's a
Well, that took a dark turn, and Juice is gone.
It's
lost him.
It's Halloween time, like he died. But it's like the Frankenstein movie with the guy that played Willy Wonka in the 70s, because I for some reason can't remember his name. Gene Wilder. Again, a third time for reassurance, because I should be ashamed of myself for forgetting his name. Gene Wilder. Does anyone know of that movie? I can't remember the act. Is it Dr. Franken? Hold on.
You know, the Three Stooges meet the monsters.
You mean the Munsters?
The Munsters.
The Munsters and the Addams Family. Gene Wilder, Frankenstein. Young Frankenstein. It came out in 1974.
Oh, Young Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein. That's it.
Get out of here, boyo.
I love that movie. If you have not seen Young Frankenstein, go treat yourself. I highly recommend you go treat yourself. It's a beauty. But that little jingle stuck in my head now from when Juice called us for a bit there.
Dude, that was my bad.
Question for those who have seen Spaceballs. I think Young Frankenstein is on that collection where they pull out the movie Spaceballs and rewind it, if I'm not mistaken.
Nah.
Oh, no,
Young Frankenstein came out in 1974, way before Spaceballs.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like when Spaceballs, like in the film, there's a part where they're trying to go back to look at a scene, and they have to fast forward, and they go through the collection of tapes that he has. And I swear to God, I think I seen Young Frankenstein there as one of the videos that he has.
It might have been.
Maybe. All right.
Can't recall.
All right, we're going to have to go back and check that out.
Can't recall right now. We just
It's been
stop
like
the whole
4
show right
years.
now. Like, just go look. We'll be right back, guys.
Pull up YouTube. All right, where is the stupid thing?
Bum, 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 bum. I'm watching a lot of JoJo memes lately too.
All right, Juice, your turn.
Okay. So I realize now I can't switch back and forth between my list because the audio becomes really garbled. So I have to like think of this off the top of my head real
garbled.
quick, like what's on
Just
the
write
list.
it down on pen and paper.
Huh?
Why didn't you just write it down on a piece of paper?
Huh? Because I was hoping I wouldn't have to resort to the.
Craig, you're being too nice. Why didn't you memorize it, Juice? You're a show host.
That was the first thing I was gonna go with. When I was like, well, I forget things too.
I'm just gonna go with short films. Like the little kind of comedy aspect of it. I'm gonna go with It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. It's original classic. It's funny.
You son of a bitch!
It's it's just a classic in general. Cause come on, Charlie Brown only getting rocks during Halloween, and everybody else comparing little candy bags. Like, I got 3 pieces of candy. I got a chocolate bar. I got a rock. It's like every single house, he got a rock. Like, I feel like nowadays you do that, it's like you're gonna get another knock on the door, and it's gonna be an angry mother.
Fucker. It was right there. I'm sorry. It had to be done.
The reason I'm pissed, by the way, Juice knows that was gonna be one of my fucking suggestions. Because we fucking had a discussion going over this, getting ready for shit.
So they're co-hosting that suggestion then. It's a co-suggestion.
No, I'm killing them for that suggestion. That's what's gonna happen.
Hey, man.
Well,
we're gonna have one less rice fucking on this show. That's all I'm saying. Fucking piece of shit. Little sneaky asshole trying to pass it off as an old dude. Just be like, I'm gonna go with the classic. Fuck you.
Because we're going along that horror comedy comparison. So it was like all the ones I had, they didn't even really have a lot of comedy.
You could have just picked whatever. We just jumped from place to place. That's what we said we are gonna do. Goddammit.
Okay.
We'll smack the shit out of you.
We're switching gears. Slasher.
All right. God damn it, slasher. So who's starting?
You know, for
Either
some
way, it's gonna be
reason,
one of you two,
I
because
could actually feel your fingers by my ribs, playing my rib cage like a fucking piano. Anyway, I shall start. Juicy, I'm going to save the only one I can potentially think of that you could say based off of a certain game we've played of a slasher.
Yeah.
And that can be your
I'm
answer
just
by
gonna use
default.
my my one game card.
That's
for
exactly
discussion.
why I'm saving that one for you. Like, and I'm not going to say
All
it.
right.
That's why
But
I'm not gonna save it for you. I'm just kidding.
that's exactly why Craig's going to say it next before you can. And
Well,
then you
wasn't
guys have to co-host that one.
motherfucker?
But
Well, I have a backup just in case.
bro, like
I
there's
would
plenty
hope
of
so.
slashers too, though, bro. Like there's
Yeah,
hella
we-
slashers. You definitely have at least heard of them or know of them too. But anyway, mine specifically is the first. Yes, I said what I said. The first. I know about Leatherface predating. I know, but this one is the first who really kicked off the genre. It's The Shape, baby. Come on now. Y'all already know. It's Michael Myers, who is returning to the big screen really soon, too, by the way. I will be there for that midnight release if I
October
can.
15th.
That's right. Midnight release if I can. But Michael Myers takes the cake for me. As far as movies go, if I had to recommend them to you, we have already talked about all of the timelines over on Biff's channel, the Biff Skizzy channel, NOG_CTV. We talked about, we broke down all the timelines. But if there's one movie, just one, that I have to recommend to get you into the franchise, it's between the original film and the 2018 film. Watch one of those two.
I'll break the tie for you, CJ. Easy. You're going with the original. And here's why. No matter what timeline you decide to go on after that, that is the precursor to everything.
Everything.
No matter what timeline you start on, which is the original timeline to go straight to 2, you go to the Cult of Thorn one, you go to the zombie one, hell, you go to the Season of the Witch one, you go to the current 2018 one. I'm pretty sure I forgot one. I could give a shit.
It's the H2O timeline, yeah.
The one with LL Cool J.
Yes.
And I think
and Busta Rhymes in the next one, yeah.
That's not, I just realized that
or
one has
treat,
LL Cool J and Busta Rhymes.
Motherfucker. Yeah. Definitely the original or
You gotta
2018.
start with the first one, man.
I'm okay with you doing 2018 as well, but just know that you
Either
won't
way,
have you won't have earned that deliciousness. But
you don't have
it's
the
okay.
context behind
The
it.
reason I say that though is because I know that a lot of moviegoers today are very impatient and like they struggle with older movies. I don't condone that. I think you need to get your attention span under control. But 2018 film, that's why they made it too. It's supposed to be like a bit of a soft reboot of the franchise for modern contemporary audiences. So that's why. But yeah, that's my suggestion. Make a fucking Halloween game. No, Dead by Daylight doesn't count. All right. All I gotta say.
All right, Juice, go ahead.
So we were talking about, in the same capacity, the potential horror games that fit into the category for Halloween. I'm going to be using that card, and I'm going to be going through Friday the 13th, the game. Accuracy-wise, it looks really good. Fits within the whole Friday the 13th spectrum, just that whole universe, including the characters, the different versions. Only one that I don't have is the mother, which that'd be entertaining though. Just an old woman
I would
just
have liked
chasing
to
everybody.
see like some Pamela DLC too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I would have liked it.
we get her summer head. Does
Yeah,
that
you
count?
get her head all the time. That's
her
also like a bit of a
sweater.
double
Yeah,
answer
and
for
sweater.
Juicy too, because he's talking about games. We were actually going to get to games too, so that's a bit of a double answer. So I guess we got to do games by default next after we do this
Yep.
one.
That's definitely coming up
To
next.
help out Juicy, because I nobody doesn't know much about the films. If there's one Friday the 13th, you're gonna watch Part 4, the final chapter. Watch that one.
Oh, that's
And
why
for funds, Jason Takes Manhattan and Jason X.
Jason X would be my personal recommendation,
Jason
but
X has one of my favorite
that's an
kills.
acquired flavor. Jason X is an acquired flavor. Like you have to watch the other ones first before you can really
yeah, just
laugh
know
at like
Jason X is a
Wait!
really stupid,
Jason X
enjoyable movie.
horror comedy. Doy.
Well, that
Even-
wasn't supposed to
I
be
don't
horror
care
comedy.
what it's supposed to be, what it actually came out as. Therefore, Jason X horror comedy. Watch it.
That movie did not need to be good.
Candyman.
And it was.
Ooh, Candyman. I forget about him.
But all right, to touch on a more recent slasher, I guess I'm gonna go with is shit. Actually, you know what? I'll change my answer because that's kind of a spoiler for.
I want to hear what that
film,
was
so.
still eventually, though.
Yeah, you'll hear what it was after this.
Okay, all right.
So I'm gonna have to go with Freddy Krueger then.
How did I know?
Because let's be honest, that's the the unholy trinity right there of slashers.
This is God.
Michael,
Still my
Jason,
fucking
Freddy.
favorite.
Frederick.
Make a slasher movie verse
Freddy is
like you do for everyone else.
Freddy is the biggest shit talker of any slasher I know. The only person that can kind of top him is maybe Chucky.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only. I would love to see Chucky and Freddy in a
A promo battle.
Mama type competition. Just a verbal dissing of each other and just like prior knowledge. I would love to watch that shit. If I could get Robert Englund and Brad Dourif in one room just talking shit to each other as their characters, that'd be great. That'd be fantastic.
Who plays Freddy Krueger by chance?
Don't answer that question, Craig.
No,
How dare you?
dude, you know me. I
How
don't
dare
watch.
you? No, I don't
watch
care. No. How dare you? You don't have to watch the movies to know who that icon is. Because he's not just Freddy Krueger either. It's Jackie Earl Haley, Chris. Come on. How don't you know that? Oh.
Is it bad that the name isn't coming to me right now?
No, because that's not the actual answer.
Well, the remake actor, yeah. But
Yeah, he's the remake one, but not the original.
I just said the name, Juice. Like, I literally, after you, right before you asked that question, my mouth said Brad Dourif and Robert Englund. And before that, I went Chucky and Freddy Krueger.
Robert Englund.
I'm sorry, that threw me off because I was thinking Mark Hamill for Chucky.
I love Mark. He's Luke Skywalker and the Joker, but I've never been more hurt by hearing something there too. Brad Dourif is Chucky. I love Mark Hamill. Brad Dourif is that character. I like Jackie Earle Haley. Robert Englund is Freddy. You know, it's something like that. Now with Michael and Jason, it's been so many. Okay, well, in the case of Jason,
Kane
Hodder. But in the
big
case of Michael,
is
yeah,
Jason.
Kane Hodder is Jason. He plays
The only person
Jason
who
with
has topped him,
rage.
thus far, I think is the remake Jason, that fucker who ran.
That
Just for the fact that
sprints?
he ran. Jason could have been fucking anorexic. If he moves like his name was fucking Usain Bolt, then that's a whole other bitch.
Bruh, Chris.
And the loud foot stomps, too.
When we talk about Jason running, just imagine
you.
Suede when he used to be running down the hallway like this. When
Based
For
off
those of you who don't know who Suede is our friend, and he is big and buff as shit. When I say
Suedos,
someone
baby.
is one sneeze away from their shirt exploding, well, that is the definition of how fucking buff that son of a bitch was.
Hostile God.
Okay, so the fight part.
His nipples
CJ
would
will-
point out, and nipples didn't have to be hard. That's how fucking thick he was, man.
CJ reenacting the run, it reminded me of one meme, and it's gonna make everybody die laughing. Has anybody seen the police officer from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs? Just a little
Yeah,
run,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. voiced by Mr. T and Terry Crews. So,
Well, now we know we need to get either CJ or Suede in a police attire and make them run like that.
yeah, just yell Flint Lockwood as you're running down.
I'll yell Paul Blart. But that's the Holy Trinity. Craigo's right. And
If there was a Mount Rushmore of horror icons,
they're
Michael's
on
got to
there.
go first, followed by Freddy, I think, then Jason,
then
and it's a real toss-up for who the fourth one would be,
It's-
but I
Very
think
tough.
it might have to be Alien, honestly.
The Xenomorph?
Maybe because
I didn't see that answer coming.
That first film is one of the biggest ones to like take a leap in a whole different direction. It actually made a monster since I feel like the werewolf,
Yeah.
you know, to actually be terrifying because everyone else was like,
But this is in
Michael is just
space,
an
too.
indiscriminate madman. You have Freddy Krueger, who is essentially a sleep demon, and Jason Voorhees is basically a zombie. The Xenomorph was terrifying. Just one Xenomorph was terrifying on its own because it did something that few things could do. Make a terrifying sci-fi film. Which, as we can see present day, has not been replicated the same.
Yeah.
The first Alien film, and hell, even Aliens, like, those two films cannot be touched. And I would put, if I have to say no, like, again, no bias or anything here, I got to put the Xenomorph up there as probably the fourth face up there. The only other person, like, I can think of that would go up there is maybe Leatherface, but I do not want to give credit to someone where an actual, horror monster was real about that, because Leatherface was a real serial killer. And I do not want to give any credit to anyone like that. I'd even give it to maybe even Hannibal Lecter for his stunning performance, Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins.
Yep. Fantastic. Just bone-curdling performance.
Trying to think as far as Mount Rushmore before we jump over to games. Obviously the first three in that order.
Yeah.
And then
Pennywise?
because you got Pinhead too. You have
See, I would
Chucky.
that's not a bad contender, Juice, but it's like with Michael, he's the one who started the series, you know what I mean?
Pennywise
Freddy
is slasher.
Freddy changed the game as well because he introduced a supernatural aspect, which I don't think really had been
and he can talk
successfully done. Yeah, and he talked. He was a shit talker the whole way through. Jason kind of was Michael on steroids.
Yeah, that was the purpose of Friday the 13th. Like, it was just another fucking Halloween ripoff, but it blew up in its own right.
But what made
all the sequels,
Friday the 13th?
They kept evolving it.
Yeah, so what made Halloween terrifying is the idea of evil can corrupt like any individual, no matter what age. That's what made it terrifying. That it's that like makes you paranoid, kind of like what The Thing does about it the whole time, where it's like you're looking over your shoulder constantly, thinking like, "Holy shit, what if some crazy dude comes after me?" And it's not like Michael was wearing anything too terrifying. He was in a fucking jumpsuit and he had a William Shatner mask. That's it. And his weapon was an everyday, thing you find in a kitchen knife. That's it. Nothing really crazy about it. Freddy changed the game because it made you terrified to go to sleep. Jason's terrifying aspect is that he kept coming back, and the fact that Camp Crystal Lake is a real place here in LA. Like, where they shot was actually, there's an actual Camp Crystal Lake and everything.
I think I have number 4, and I would give it to Leatherface myself.
If not, we're going to put Ash up there.
But, Ash isn't a villain, though. Like, he's the...
It doesn't matter, guys. That's the guy you send to kill every horror villain.
He's the protagonist of that whole series, but...
He'd murder everybody. I don't care who you are, a Cenobite or not. Hail to the king, baby.
I'm going to give it to... Because he single-handedly revived the genre when it was dead. I'm going to give slot 4 to Ghostface.
Okay, that's... Okay, yeah, I didn't think about that.
That'll be my number 4 shot, because Scream was meant to be meta. Like, it's not supposed to be another slasher film, but it was so popular it accidentally resurrected the slasher genre. It was so popular. So Wes Craven, we love you, rest in peace. Wes Craven is on Mount Rushmore twice with Freddy and with Ghostface, so he must be doing something right.
Yeah, so that's fair. I definitely put that. Something that's game-changing like that definitely helps. Okay, So with the whole unholy Mount Rushmore
On the
painted in
games
blood.
now.
So now we're on to video games. Juice started us off strong already with Friday the 13th, and I think it'd be only appropriately so, excuse me, with that shithead lady in red right there, also in our comment section, that we talk about Dead by Daylight.
Now fuck Dead by Daylight.
Well, we're not going to.
He's like, I see how it is, beach.
But anyway, if you like Friday the 13th, Dead by Daylight pretty much functions the same way, except instead of, I think, 12 players on Friday the 13th?
It's 8 on Friday, but it's only like 5 on DBD.
Yeah, okay, so 8
Kinda
players
caught me off
on
guard.
Friday the 13th. The good thing about Friday is it's a giant map, and you have multiple ways to win against Jason. Jason's OP as shit. You just run if you don't got anything to fight his ass.
You
And,
can't run
you can
forever.
you can actually kill him. Yeah, and there's only so many routes that you can win with. But even though, like, if it comes down to a one-on-one and you don't have an escape route, oh, you're just running for time at that point. You can still win with the timer down, but the odds of you winning that way are very slim.
They're very slim, but you just surviving by running out the time.
I'll say
It's gotta
this
be
one,
bad, Jason.
with Dead by Daylight, it has a very simple function of repair those generators and get out through exit A, exit B, and if it's just one-on-one, find that hatch. If they break the hatch, you better find another exit, because if not, hell's coming over and it's just pulling you down.
After seriously playing both now, it only makes me sadder that the fate of Friday the 13th is only sadder now, because I've played Dead by Daylight, and I know Friday the 13th is never going to get that continuation to get all the content it was originally supposed to get. But that's a topic for an entirely different episode.
Well, I think the thing that with Dead by Daylight succeeded on was the fact that it had multiple
gets
killers
content
and different gameplay mechanics as well. It kept its overall gameplay premise the same, and it was able just to elaborate on the smaller details around it. Versus Friday the 13th, it made the entire fucking gameplay, they set everything in motion from there. And after that, it was just people playing. But it's much easier to play a game with 5 people than 8 people, and that's one of the suffering things from it. And I think one of the downsides is that, unfortunately, because they had less variety in terms of killers, that's probably one of the only struggles. But other than that, I think, and I'm not even trying to be an ass, I think Friday is the superior version. That's just my opinion on it, though, because I love everything about Friday the 13th.
If it weren't for that accursed lawsuit, it would still be going, like, and getting all the different content. They were bringing new game modes. One of the game modes was going to be Paranoia, which goes back to that whole talk with the Thing and Among Us and all that. But there was going to be a game mode in Friday the 13th where the killer was among you, and you had to figure out who it was before they killed everyone. I don't know. I don't know how they were going to go about that, but there's 2 ways they could have: a new beginning,
part 9,
or the Jason Goes to Hell version.
Yep.
With
he's
like
just
the
inside
snake
of somebody.
one, like he's inside of someone. So there's 2 ways it could have went about it. The Jason Goes to Hell one is more practical for the game, but the part 5 way could have worked too, because like the promo they did for it was based off of a new beginning. Part 5, like the promo they made for it, because it was like a blue Jason with the blue chevrons, like Roy Burns. So maybe they were going to do it like the part 5 way. It was essentially Kane. Yes. And yeah. But games. My game that I always tell everyone to fucking play anyway, Alien Isolation. Goes without a doubt.
You ain't a fan of the series for nothing, folks.
Right. Craigo touched on the Alien movies earlier with how untouchable the first 2 are. Me personally, I'm adding the 3rd with that. Alien 3 is criminally underrated and overlooked. Watch the assembly cut of the movie.
Memory of it. I don't have too much memory of it as I do for the first 2, which is why I only included them. But
watch the assembly cut of Alien 3, all of you.
CJ will put no bias in for his takes on things. So if he's recommending it, you got to trust him on it. This is the same dude I watched play Alien Isolation on the hardest difficulty. And for some reason on that day, 3 people decided to screw him over, me being one of them. We took away his glasses, so he couldn't see. We took his ability away to use his radar, which that shit is pretty much garbage anyway, but it's still something. And what was the last thing we took away from you, CJ?
Couldn't talk.
Oh, yeah, and he couldn't talk.
And
which
like
ate away with
5
him,
raids happened, so I couldn't say thank you.
which
and
sucked
I'm not
because
kidding too. There's
we
like
were
5
actually
raids.
donating stuff to him as well. On top of that, CJ, much like myself, as well as Juice, we all like to. We see the chat, and we want to communicate with it as fast as we can because we don't want people to think we're ignoring them.
Yeah, I hate
And-
that.
Yeah.
So it kind of eats away at us every time we see comments and we can't read them, and we're just like, ah! Just burning
On the
away
inside, I was
inside.
exploding.
And meanwhile, CJ was like, could barely see as it is because we took away his fucking glasses.
It's like-
The best
It was
part was that it was his wife that took away the glasses. That was the best part because I was like, I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna be a dick. I wanted CJ to at least be able to see what's going on.
Out of nowhere, too. I was all like, what?
Oh, that's
And
What
that was a thought process in my head, and she just took it away from him just like that. I was like, I was like,
And
we
then
are
she
gonna
said,
be great
I'm sorry,
friends.
baby. It's like, what,
Uh-huh.
what are you doing? We're on the same side. What are you doing? But everything after Alien 3, on the other hand, different discussion. Prometheus was
Don't get me
promising.
wrong. CJ,
But
was that
yeah,
not
just
your 24-hour
fucking up.
stream, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, it was. Speaking of which, I
Okay.
still have that VOD. I know it's not available
Good.
like for anyone to watch because I've been struggling to find a way to put it up. What I should have did is actually kept it on Twitch. Yes, there's a way. I should have just highlighted the whole VOD, like, and it would stay up as a 24-hour video on Twitch. But it's too late for that.
So,
now,
so
'cause
for
it
those of you who
expired a while
don't
ago.
know, if you ever have a friend in that situation, you got to be a real one and take care of the comment section for them on their behalf, like I did for CJ.
Big time.
Anyway,
He was there. He's always there. Red, go fuck yourself. We're way past Dead by Daylight. No one cares about you.
Oh, we didn't
so
even shit on the game.
yeah,
we
we didn't even crap on a game. Like we gave it
We
credit.
said the game is good.
Yeah. It's just Friday the 13th is
I will-
better. Anyway. Yeah.
I will add another game into the mix, and it's Dying Light.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's a good one.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't
my!
had the chance to really explore that with
Yeah.
friends, but cool.
Hey, Chicken and Rice Gaming. Coming
Yes,
soon.
that will happen. Oh, why? But back to a quick breakdown of Alien Isolation. It is the best Alien content we've gotten, again, putting my bias aside here now, since Aliens. Okay? The movie takes place between the first and the second. The tech shows that. Really looks like the first movie, kind of leading into the second, like if you were looking at Star Wars. Someone said Five Nights at Freddy's, and Axel just said that in chat. We'll get to that.
Just about to touch on that.
We'll get to that. But Alien Isolation, you're alone. Your weapons are useless. They barely buy you time. And you just go deeper down the rabbit hole of what's happening on that ship with the xenomorph, parentheses, S, parentheses, because there may or may not be more than one. And it's terrifying. The music, straight out of the line of the movies, the environment, the sounds. You can hear the xenomorph moving around in the vents above you. It's actively
Creepy
hunting
noise
you.
that they have
Man.
in the trailers for Alien and Prometheus, where it's like
Oh,
that shit. Do they have that weird fucking noise in there?
Oh, I think that's
Did it?
in
It fucking scared me.
I think it's in Isolations. I
Oh, okay.
think it probably is. Everything scary is in that game, and then like the androids are your enemies. The other humans in the ships are trying to kill you too because they're also paranoid and scared. It's a brilliant
So
game.
when CJ says you're
Brilliant.
alone, he doesn't mean like just you and the alien or in multiple areas just
Yeah,
fucking playing hide and seek. No, he means
Everything
you're
is your
fucking literally
enemy.
alone.
Yeah.
Everything in there either wants to kill you or penetrate you without love.
and
Or
then
both.
like, when you get toward the end of the game, it just becomes an absolute roller coaster. As you get fingertips away from escaping, but things keep getting in the way. It's a brilliant story. The story could have been a movie. It's about Ripley's daughter after how things ended in the first movie, but great game. We have still yet to get a proper sequel to it. They made a sequel called Blackout for mobile that combined Alien Isolation kind of with Five Nights at Freddy. So you had to look out on the cameras as your friends tried to maneuver the hallways. You have to tell them where to stop, where to go to avoid the xenomorph also going, and the xenomorph is also haunting you. Your doors are open there at the camera. It's really, it's interesting, but it's just not the sequel we were looking for. Alien Isolation, though.
Based off of that description, you know what it kind of reminds me of in a little way? Keep talking and nobody explodes.
I still want to play that for Twitch. Just need to have people
down
for it.
I have no
By
idea
the
what
way,
this is.
I bought
Please
the game,
elaborate.
Chris. Like, I actually own the game now, too.
Hey,
so,
there you go.
yeah. I want to play
All
that
right,
for
one
Twitch.
moment, lads. I will be back.
Okay.
Continue talking, though.
Because the Beast is next, and I have a... there's two of me again. And I have a feeling... that he's going to touch on what Mr. Axel just said in chat. We're not going to touch on that franchise. That's all his territory. But Juicy, what you got? Any bonuses you want to give for games?
Actually, for movies, yes. For games, it's kind of
go ahead for movies too.
'cause,
That's fine. Whatever you got.
Yeah, because I had. I don't know if you know about this. I made a list beforehand of
The List of Jericho.
like the family friendly. Huh?
The List of Jericho.
Oh, don't try me. I'll add you to the list.
You stupid idiot.
But yeah, I feel like I have to make up for stealing Craig, so I have to list the rest of these on here. So, funny part, it's like this one. It's like I guess it could go under that like kind of scary comedy kind of thing. I have most of these are Disney. Well, actually, no, not. No, look at it. It's not even all Disney. It's like Adventures of Ichabod and Toad, or Ichabod and Mr. Toad. It's like a hour-and-a-half movie, which is like split up between two, and the main one is pretty much The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which is
The Legend of
pretty much
JC Hollow.
Yeah. So it's pretty much the Headless Horseman. The guy who pretty much has no head, but he uses a pumpkin and replaces that. So that's another candidate. The Black Cauldron, which is everybody. If you know the Black Cauldron, you're an OG. That's just the way it is, because it's the one Disney movie that's like never really heard of, and only the OGs know about it. Where pretty much the main antagonist, the Horn King Demon, is trying to pretty much have his own little army, but he has to have that one cauldron to do it. And it's kind of funny because they have like a little Gollum.
It seems that Red agrees with you, Juicy. Hell yeah,
So,
good movie.
They have a third-person like Gollum ripoff. They're talking about the Black Cauldron. Like I'm going.
I don't think I've seen that.
Okay, it's like one of those only the OGs know for like Disney, because it's not really talked about.
So it's on Disney Max.
Gotcha.
And yes, I know what I said. I know what I said. I know what I said. Also, I got I got a family-friendly one myself, actually. My wife put me onto this one last year. Over the Garden Wall. Does anyone know about Over the Garden Wall? That series? Like, it's not a movie, it's a series that Cartoon Network produced. I don't want to give too much away, but these two boys get lost during the Halloween season, and it's one hell of an adventure. It's dark, scary, but togetherness prevails. And
I got two, y'all.
But it's a beautiful thing. You still got to do your game too, Craigo. But go ahead and add in.
Oh, I know. So, number one, Goosebumps.
That's
Who
cheating.
don't like Goosebumps? Dun, 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 dun.
That should not be a horror song.
Jack Black, really good.
That should not be a horror song. That song is too good to be a horror song. That song that should be in the club.
Also, my second one, I'm sure you guys remember this, but Monster House.
Yes.
That shit was
Underrated.
surprisingly fucked up.
Underrated.
Dark, yeah.
Doesn't get
It
talked
got
about
intense.
anymore.
When I say that shit got intense, the video game wasn't bad either.
I remember when that came out. Monster House.
Do you remember how that shit ends? Grabs that shit, chucks it in there. I'm gonna be a little discreet because y'all don't need to know, but it fucking does not end in any way, shape, or form you think it's supposed to. Let's put it that way. All right, back to the video games though. The video juegos, as you talk about, there's a few games that I could list off. So some of which I'm gonna just touch on one real quick because I was talking to the lads about it before. But Call of Duty's one, which is the Haunting in Verdansk for Warzone, which is really cool because it takes the Warzone Battle Royale thing. But when you die, you become a zombie, and you have to get these two serums and come back to life. It's really cool. So every time you kill someone, you think they're done, you gotta kill them as a zombie, then they're out for good. But if they have teammates, they can still revive them. And when I tell you those zombies are fast as shit, they are fast. And they can jump like a motherfucker. Like, y'all see the Incredible Hulk jump. They jump. I was like, holy shit! Just trying to shoot him while he's in the midair. I was like, we need to run. We need to run and find shelter. And then the storm's coming in. It's just, you don't feel safe. You're screaming out of your lungs. Like,
Honestly, I completely forgot about that.
yeah, dude, I'm very excited for when it comes. Hopefully, it comes back this year. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I can remember. Was it
Yeah, go ahead.
one or two? I remember the 1 or 2 times we played that. It was you, me, and young Emily.
Oh yeah, she's dead now. Rest in peace. Anyway, okay, we gotta get CJ back on that. But Juice, before I forget, I did find something out. That they added this thing for a private lobby. So say if we can get 24 people, at least we can do our own Warzone, including, I would imagine, when it's out, the Haunting in Verdansk.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, right. Get all of our friends together and just
Honestly.
zombify it up. Get pairs of 2s or 3s or some shit like that. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, but other games to touch on, without much reason to really explain. I'm gonna only explain like a few of them. But Outlast, fantastic game. Never played it. Play it. It will fuck with you. It's a great game. Red knows all about that game. And then we also have Slender. Getting anything with the Slender Man is usually really good.
Slender Haunt can kiss my donkey dick.
Hin. Huh?
I said Slender Haunt can kiss my donkey dick.
I'm also going to mention SCP Containment Breach. That's for you, Hin. As well as we're going to touch on FNAF right now because Five Nights at Freddy's, a fantastic series, which is supposedly getting a movie at some point. I don't know when that is.
That's where they said it about every game. Like, some happen, some don't. Some happen many years later. We still don't have an Infamous game.
They're still trying to. I think they're still trying to figure out how to make the whole premise and everything.
Super salty.
For those of you who don't know anything about Five Nights at Freddy's, I
go
would
find
definitely
out.
say that. Huh?
For anyone who don't know, go find out.
If you guys have seen Willy's Wonderland with Nicolas Cage, it's like that, but the full horror aspect instead. Also, go check out Willy's Wonderland. Fantastic movie. I don't care what people say. If they fucking say it's not good, fuck you. You're wrong. Congratulations. Anyway, well, Five Nights at Freddy's really does change the whole horror aspect. Usually you're walking around waiting for something to come at you like Phasmophobia, which I'm sure newer gameplay audiences will relate to, which is, you go looking around for something, you find some notes, you find something like this, you find that dildo on the ground, and you're like, that must be a banshee. And so therefore we need to get some Horcruxes and band them together and make them do sex stuff and banish it, for I am a good Christian child and I will keep my virginity. That's how you take care of things in Phasmophobia. But here in FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's, you do exactly what we're doing. You sit your ass down on said chair, and you have to look left, look right. You turn on a light, because if there's a giant animatronic coming to rip your insides out and put you in a suit, you don't want that. That's no bueno. You are a night guard, and you to make sure you get paid, because it's either you die or you get paid. And why are you still here in this creepy ass place? Well, because you need money. Shit ain't cheap, goddammit. And this person is desperate enough to take a chance gambling with these scary ass, haunted ass fucking animatronics, like old school Chuck E. Cheese ass fucking animatronics. And they got a whole set. You got Freddy Fazbear, Big Stupid Bear. You got Bonnie the Bunny, which gave the actual creator a lot of nightmares. You got Chica the Duck, which for some reason got
ducks
like thick for some reason in the second one, but we don't talk about that. And then you got Foxy the Pirate, because of course you gotta have a pirate. Yarr! And there's another hidden one, but I'll leave that for viewers to discover on their own. Anyway, Five Nights at Freddy's, amazing fucking game, because the horror comes to you, and that is possibly more terrifying knowing that you have to just sit there and wait for it to come to you. And let me put it to you this way. What's worse than going to look for something that you know is somewhere in that area? Like, it's like, going to look for a Christmas present, right? You know it's somewhere in the house. You know it's going to be cool. So you got to look for it. You're looking for it. You're trying to find it. You got to make sure that the parents don't know that you're looking for it, because then they might hide it somewhere else. But it's in the house. So you go searching and searching and searching. And then bam, your mom's there like, hijo de chimijo, what are you doing looking for your present? I did not tell you can find that shit in here. You made away. And then, present gets moved. But in Five Nights at Freddy's, just imagine, you did something stupid. And I mean really stupid. Like you, I don't know, you took a dump on your parents' couch because you were just on a dare. And now you're waiting and waiting and waiting for your parents to come home and give you that proverbial ass kicking for being stupid. You just know it's coming. You don't know what they're going to beat your ass with. You don't know if it's going to be a chancla, a belt. I would give more list of things, but I'm worried that people would get ideas. Anyway.
Extension cords, switches,
You don't know if they're going to verbally bring you down, or they give you that, I'm not mad at you, I'm just disappointed at you. Ah! That shit hurts more.
It does.
Anyway.
It really does.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's worse, I feel like, because I feel like when you have to wait for something to come at you, that's worse. Because at least if you're mobile, you can run away from shit. But I could be wrong, because that new FNAF game coming out, you will be in a giant mall. So,
a giant mall? What is this?
All Five Nights at Freddy's.
So,
all the Freddy's.
Dawn of the Dead? Dang,
Have you
son.
played FNAF?
It's painful, baby.
Which one are you asking?
Yes.
Just in general.
Any of them.
I seen a lot of gameplay.
Folks, just know I want you to know that he was all laughs and smiles, and the moment I asked him if he played FNAF, it went from smiles to why is he asking me this?
Fear!
Markiplier.
Yeah, we need to have Juicy play that game on his channel.
That would pull in the numbers.
Juice, and here's why. I'm picking you specifically, because CJ and I unfortunately do have some horror aspect under our belts. CJ and I have gone past that point already where we know something's coming and it doesn't scare us anymore because we know it's coming. It's more like, all right, fuck you, come on. Like, we can turn it into comedy. You who has no knowledge or that actual experience, we need to capitalize on that. Show people that fear, what it's like to play Five Nights at Freddy's. The everyday average Joe that is not akin to the Halloween verse. Perfect for FNAF. That's you. You are that Joe. The Joe Mama. Joke. That ace in the hole. You are that right Asian for the job. You are the rice ball we need, damn it. But yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's, a fantastic, fantastic video game series. And they have books that elaborate on the lore, and then you could go to MatPat to get an easier synopsis of most of the lore. So Game Theory, go check that out. And obviously play the games yourself. They're fucking terrifying. And it doesn't help that it's randomly generated.
Gonna play them
I'll
all.
be right there with you, brother. I'll be right there with you.
That's gonna be hell. I can't wait.
CJ are gonna be yelling the whole time, like,
Yeah.
"Close the fucking door!"
Like, shut that light on. Are you deaf? It's gonna be a lot of fun. Juicy. We, on the other hand, and I'm gonna bring Craig into this too because anyone can get the manual because it's online. Keep talking and nobody explodes. We're gonna have some fun with that.
Oh yeah.
A lot of fun.
I don't know what this is, but this sounds exciting. I can't wait to hear about it.
All right. The quick summary, Craig. Let's say you have a bomb.
Yes.
So we have the manual and we can't show it to you.
Yeah. You
Of how
just
to
have to
use
take our word for how to turn a bomb off.
Oh boy.
Diffuse the bomb.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is this game's gonna make me have trust issues more than I already have.
But we have to ask you because we
it's not
can't look at the bomb, but you can't look at the manual.
No.
So, like, while not looking at the screen, like, we'll ask you, is the left wire yellow? You cannot give us details other than what we ask you. That's another rule, too.
So this is all yes or no, basically. So
It's
I
a
can't
very...
be like,
No, you can
yeah,
say...
there's a yellow wire on top of a blue wire type of shit. I can only answer what's question.
Well, you can say things like that, too, but, like, it can't be, like, uber specific, like, you know, right? Like we have to get it out of you.
Well, there's certain ways that you can... You have to turn off the little module. So you have to, like, let's say there's a color code. You're not gonna keep pressing the buttons. You have to let us know what it is, what is beeping, stuff like that.
Oh boy, that's a lot of specific shit.
It's very specific.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun.
And I think you only get like 3 mistakes or something like that before you
can
go boom.
You can move it around however many you want.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, I look forward to that crazy shit that's going to happen. Anyway, folks, just know that if you've seen on my channel or Hin's or CJ's channel, this is a little go off topic, we've been doing some GTA stuff to practice, see if some maps were cool, see if some maps were dog shit.
Evil.
Yeah, and we have a few that will be in mind for everyone to play, so we're going to get my other Asian counterpart over here to eventually joining us on Grand Theft Auto 5 because there are slasher stuff, which is horror, so we can make that work for this upcoming Halloween events.
2 things.
As well as we're going to try to play some games together if we can.
One of those things is an honorary game mention Call of Duty Zombies. Second, remember Juicy when he finally got on GTA a little while ago and we left the map to go to Cayo Perico right when you came, so none of us were there? I was like, the timing.
Yeah.
You were like, whoa, I guess I'll get off.
That's a certain someone going to get a haircut.
Gosh.
I'm playing!
A certain someone who y'all may be getting to know a little better, depending on plans afoot, too.
Good times.
Anyway, I think we've done a nice job covering the horror suggestions horizon. So why don't we go ahead and move forward? We can wrap things up.
Yeah, so just a quick summation of everything, folks. We've given a list of family-friendly things, horror, thrillers, and all that stuff, comedies, as well as video games to touch on. In case you're not big on watching films, but you're big on games, vice versa, or both. And yes, Red, you should definitely give Dead by Daylight a try, even if it's an inferior version of Friday the 13th, but that's okay. Both games are fantastic.
Right.
But for me, those are games I like to play as friends, but that's just me.
Agreed. It's something you like. Same with Dying Light for me personally too. Like, you can play Dying Light solo, you can play DBD solo, you can play Friday solo. I used to play Friday solo because I was that good at it back then, but it's so much better when you have friends.
Yeah,
it's so much better
because you can't rely on randoms.
Yeah, it's not Nintendo where it can do things on its own and you can just have fun with it.
Yeah,
it's not Nintendo. Get the hell out.
Dying
Get
Light
the hell out of here
is
with that.
a better Dead Island.
That is true. In case y'all don't know what Dead Island is, Dead Island was a zombie, like, it's basically what Dying Light is, but inferior. You didn't have parkour, you didn't have no grappling hook shit or whatever the hell that is, and you couldn't really do shit. Like, you had certain characters. It was trying to be like Borderlands with zombies, just pure zombies. And it has that really kick-ass cinematic trailer, which is sadly the only thing going for it. It's that, you guys might know what I'm talking about, because it's the zombie trailer where the little girl is, like, reverse falling into, like, out the window or whatever. Actually, good point, man. I did not touch on that. But, Left 4 Dead, also fantastic. Well,
I got a lot of
yeah,
love for Left 4
I think it's
Dead
appropriate
2.
to talk about. Left 4 Dead 1, Left 4 Dead 2, Back 4 Blood, all that stuff. Because I forgot that after playing Left 4 Dead for so long, it could still be terrifying. Like, just talking about it, it doesn't sound like that. But then I remember that everything is randomly generated, and at any point you can get a tank or a witch or both. And if you're playing it on expert, everything just slaps you twice and you're dead. Like, it's terrifying. Y'all just be like, it's just a zombie. Fuck you. Fuck you. Go play Left 4 Dead. Put that shit on expert with just the stupid bots helping you and see how far you fucking get.
Yeah, it's
I
something
guarantee you
else.
ain't getting past chapter 1 of No Mercy. I guarantee it.
Nice little side mention, too, because Left 4 Dead came up. The Zombie Army quadrilogy. Good games.
Medieval. Also, I gotta bring that up. That's a classic. It's on PlayStation. Check it out. Medieval. Fantastic game. Was
I
originally on
believe the Beast
PlayStation
already
1.
mentioned Outlast, like the Outlast duology. Can't really think of any other horror games off the bat because he said Slender. He talked about FNAF. That's GG. Now, also, Axel said something earlier, Craig, and I know you answered it, but the shirt, man. The shirt. On another
Mr.
level.
Chateau.
That's your shirt. On another level. We need that shirt. The community, the masses need that shirt. I need that shirt. I need that shirt.
I need
don't need
to
it.
afford these shirts.
I don't need it. I definitely don't need it.
I do need
I
it.
don't need it. I don't need it. I need
You're just making me
it.
thirsty saying that because all I can see is that beautiful ice water when he's saying it too. I don't need it. I don't need it. What? He's
Look,
trying
he
to.
takes a swig.
That's like if we tried to drink. Wow, drink. If we tried to treat oxygen like a drug addiction. That's what SpongeBob was doing there. It's not a drug addiction, buddy. You're gonna die if you don't have it.
I wouldn't say oxygen. I think it's just, if anything, it's H2O because he was breathing in oxygen. He didn't have
No, it's like
water.
it's like if
But I see
we
what you
treated
mean.
oxygen like that.
I'm sorry about that.
Not
Okay.
SpongeBob.
Didn't click.
Because
No,
that water
SpongeBob,
is his. Stop! I'm actually like I'm looking for someone for us to raid right now too to go spread the love with.
Bingo.
Someone new to network with.
Look up somebody for Friday or Dead by Daylight.
You want to do
within
Friday?
that,
Because I was already here on talk shows and podcasts.
Oh,
Some other podcasters.
go for it.
You guys ever play Until Dawn?
people have-
I have never played it because I just got a PlayStation, but I've seen gameplay for it.
I've heard
I've heard of it.
enough.
And Red, our good friend Lady in Red 777, fucked up in Until Dawn, and it is one of the most funniest things you've ever watched. If she still has that bot up, someone just highlight her entire playthrough for me. Just that way she can never live down that failure.
She's the only person you can highlight, unfortunately. Sucks. But there's someone here named Yoshi Waker. Great start already with the name.
Yoshi.
And their podcast is titled Top 30 Anime Waifus / Husbandos. We're going to go there.
Do it.
We're going there, yeah. We're going there. Yoshi Waker, y'all make sure y'all show him some love. You tell him Chicken and Rice sent you, gentlemen. Let's say goodbye in style. Bye.
Check it.
Level, folks.
Are you still here? Thank y'all for coming. All right, we'll see you next time. This has been us. Wait a minute. I can't do it yet. Hold on. I'm not gonna make that mistake again. Like I hadn't even started the raid like before. Like I go to like the ending screen.
Don't check it. Don't check it. Don't check it.
Yeah, don't check it yet. Don't check it yet. I'll see y'all later today too. I don't know what I'm gonna play later, but I'll see y'all then. We'll probably
I have no idea what I'm doing either, but I know I'm definitely streaming tonight.
We'll just talk. That's it. You know what, Red?
I'm gonna go between shit.
We'll love you too, Red. All right. We'll see you guys. Mwah!